Well, the Department of Defense is under fire because they had a hearing on DEI making its way into the military. But before the hearing, they moved it to a virtual hearing to ensure, I would assume, that there's very little opportunity for any type of pushback, any type of feedback. In fact, I think they threw some people out ahead of time who were going to be anticipated providing some sort of rebuttal. And this has made people very upset. Lieutenant General Rod Bishop, he's a U.S. Air Force veteran, he is saying that Marxist ideology is being forced on servicemen. Listen to this.
Unfortunately, it is unadulterated, undeniable, easily proven Marxist-based ideology that's being forced down the throats of our servicemen. When I talk about the Marxist roots, people sometimes say, hey, come on, let's be positive. Well, if it didn't come from the Frankfurt School, which was previously known as the Marxist School that set up shop in Colombia, of all places, still a hotbed of leftist ideology, then where did it come from? So I think you nailed it a couple of weeks ago when you said, yeah, the leaders of today, unfortunately, just don't seem to have the moral courage to stand up against this. They're too potentially concerned with their next promotion.
Yeah, DEI is everywhere in the Pentagon. And so this was a hearing to talk more about how they were going to advance more diversity, equity, and inclusion in the Pentagon. This outside group of generals and colonels and others said, well, we want to provide public comment. So they closed the actual meeting because they were afraid of the pushback. Then the virtual meeting, they limited to 100. So that general didn't even get into the virtual meeting. The backlash is all one way because they're saying, why are you bringing racism into the military? We got rid of it. Famously, the military was the first national integrated institution. When I served in my platoon, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, that's not what you saw. You saw Army Green. We all bled red. That's all that mattered. And what he's pointing at, but the Pentagon doesn't want to hear it because they're fully invested on it. Here's what we know for real. And I read about this in the book. There's tons of examples in here, by the way. Diversity is not our strength. The military says it all the time. Diversity is our strength. No, it's not. Our unity is. Our unity is what makes us good at our job. Equity is the opposite of merit. The military is supposed to be a merit-based institution. Right. Equity says, no, we're going to push you through based on certain categories or certain genders or certain races. And then inclusion, well, what that's meant is if you're a first or a different or trans, well, we got to push you to the top. And it's not a reflection of your combat experience or how good of a leader you are. No, it's we need the first in this place and in that place. Of course, when we reached out to the Department of Defense, we did not hear back. They're not going to respond on this. And Biden's Department of Defense is going to hate this book. And when they're exposed, by the way, and we give example after example, units are told, well, no, that training is classified. If anybody shares that to the media, you're in trouble. Or at West Point, oh, no, that curriculum is classified. And if you share it, you're expelled. So they're not changing who they are. They just don't want to be discovered. It's just like the teachers' unions. They know what they're doing.
That's exactly it. It's so interesting. These leftists, these Marxists, they need captive audiences, right? Like they've got students and they have to be in school, and that's when they get them. They don't let them, and they punish them if they have a different point of view. They'll get a bad grade. In this case, they won't get promoted. I'm just curious, why are we even having a discussion about allowing Marxism, communism, into our military? It's just like you were talking about the trans thing. You're like, why are we even having this debate? It's so stupid. It's so why are we letting men compete against women? Why are we letting communists write the rules in our military?
Well, we know left-wing politicians are going to push their ideologies. My issue is with generals that allowed it to happen, that didn't take their stars off their shoulder and say, I'm done. I'm with the warfighters. I'm not going to let you poison my unit. I'm not going to go backwards on issues of racial integration. I want the best fighters out there. And they didn't do it. And so they've caved. And they've given enough stuff they knew wasn't good. And then the other sycophants that are willing to do the job, they get promoted to the top. And Biden did it and Obama did it. Pretty soon you got a Pentagon full of sycophants worried about DEI and trans issues instead of, I don't know, we might have to fight China. What are we going to do with that? Throw pronouns at them? That's how a lot of people feel. And that's why our recruiting numbers are in the tank. Because military families are saying, I don't want to be a part of this nonsense.
Of course not.
Anyway.
Of course not.
In case you thought I was passionate about it.
Oh, no,
The book is War on Warriors. It comes out in a month. You can pre-order it now. Yeah, throw it.
I'm going to throw I only have my phone. I'm going to throw this paper.
Enough. You poison our schools. You poison everything else. Don't poison our military.
Yeah. But you know what's at the bottom of it? It's a lack of courage. It's a
Absolutely right.
The real problem is lack of courage.
Absolutely right.